Hi, I'm Dave Kahle. Welcome to this Christian Business Insights podcast show where my goal is to provide you with practical, actionable ideas to help you create businesses and careers of excellence and at the same time multiply your influence for the kingdom. I have been a Christian in business for over 30 years, and I have personally and contractually consulted with over 500 different sales organizations. So in these podcasts, I combine the lessons that I have learned with an out-of-the-box experience and perspective on Christianity that you will find challenging. And we put that together to provide you with practical insights and ideas that you can use to live better and lead better. Welcome to the journey. Hi, this is Dave. So what does it mean to be a professional? Well, actually, what does it mean to be a successful professional? Well, that's something I've given quite a bit of thought to, and we're gonna look at one of the answers to that question today. The question is, what sets the exceptional professional apart from the average? What makes someone as a professional more successful than another? And regardless of what the profession, from sales to psychiatry, I believe the exceptional professionals share certain characteristics. Here's one: the propensity to take risks. The propensity to take risks. Now, don't get the wrong idea. We're not talking about skydiving here, nor are we talking about sinking your life savings in the new startup that your friend told you about. I don't mean taking risks that might endanger your health, your safety, or your long-term security. No, I'm talking about taking risks that force you to move out of your comfort zones on the job. Risk that will stimulate you to stretch yourself, to become more competent, to gain skills that you may not have had, to expand your abilities, and maybe, in so doing, help you become more effective and more efficient and more successful. So here's an example, the propensity to take risk. And if you excuse me for using a personal example, when I began my business, my focus was 100% on consulting. I was attempting to build a consulting practice. I had never given a seminar in my life. But I read the books on how you build a consulting practice, and all the experts at that time recommended giving seminars. That's how you build a consulting practice. So I said, okay, I'll do that. I'll do seminars. So I developed a program, how to find, interview, select, and hire a good salesperson. And I approached the local business college with a proposal to jointly present it. I would present it, they would promote it and provide the facilities, and we'd split the proceeds. And so they agreed. And a few months later, I presented my first seminar. It was a huge risk. It was something I had never done before. And it caused me to stretch myself and to learn a new set of skills. I could have failed miserably. But the seminar was successful, and that one led to another, and that led to another. And within a couple of years, I had discovered that speaking and training could be major parts of my practice. And for years since then, my speaking and training income far exceeded my consulting income by multiples. If I hadn't taken that first risk, I would never have built a successful speaking practice. And not only did that practice provide me economic security, but allowed me to travel all over the country. I've spoken in 47 states. I've been in every one, but I've spoken in 47, and present in many countries around the world. So not only has my income expanded, but my life has broadened as well. That's the kind of risk I'm talking about. It's the kind of risk that calls on you to expand yourself, stretch yourself. Now, if you fail, it can be emotionally painful, and maybe it would be financially troublesome. However, if you are successful, it can lead you to other and greater opportunities, open doors that are not open to you right now. So test me on this. Talk to someone in your profession who has become exceptionally successful and ask him or her about the risks they have taken in their professional lives. You'll find, I believe, that almost every successful professional has stretched themselves beyond their comfort zones at a number of different times. That's one of the characteristics of the highly successful professional. If you can build that propensity to take these kinds of risks into your mindset, you'll grow faster, you'll grow further than if you remain safely inside of your comfort zones. You know, you take risks, these kind of risks, in a lot of ways. So if you're a professional salesperson, when you call on a different type of customer than that with which you have become comfortable, you take a risk. For example, if you call on the chief financial officer instead of just the production supervisor, you've stepped out of your comfort zones and you've taken a risk. In every profession, when you choose to implement any new strategy or tactic, or you choose to do something differently, you take a risk. When you choose to try a new way to make a presentation, contact your clients, locate your office, you're taking a risk. When you choose to question and then change some long entrenched habit, you're taking a risk. When you expand your efforts in any direction that calls for you to stretch and attempt something new, you're taking risks. Now, some of those risks will turn out well and others will become failures. Regardless, the simple act of trying something different, trying something new, will add to your repertoire, to your confidence. You'll gain confidence in your abilities. You'll learn from both your successes as well as your failures. Your life will expand, you'll grow wiser, and you'll become more successful. That's the sure payoff for every risk thoughtfully taken. So, if you're a professional, think about building into your character the propensity to take risks. Okay, that's it. We're done. Bye-bye.